Yeah, and nobody would believe this whole story of how God led, but it was as you go. You know what I'm saying? Like this story with the 10 lepers. It was your healing came as you go,
Right.
and thus for you all it was the whole total surprise of Haiti, of the call to Haiti, and then the actual going to Haiti, and then experiencing what you did to come back
And
to live in Halifax. Yeah, so you knew how to be the missionaries already. So it's amazing. We have to talk about is the fact that we've been at this, our friendship, our relationship has gone on all these years. I mean, more than 30 years. Is that unbelievable?
unbelievable.
That we started out like that. And it's just, and that we're still together and we're still doing all things that we're building together. Then we're still doing it now.
I know.
And it's such a joy for me to say, this is my friend. This is my girlfriend. This is my ministry buddy. This is the person who God called me. I mean, you all created a space for me to find what my purpose and calling was. You know?
And you were our answer to prayer.
Isn't that amazing?
I know.
How God did that?
1994.
Wow, you knew the year?
And we're going, you know, we sure are all white here.
Yeah.
And we need help, Lord.
Yeah.
And when you came through those doors, oh my gosh, what an answer to prayer.
It was
Yeah,
amazing.
I
It was
know.
amazing. That day that I met you, I said, I can't believe it. That this is a place where black and white people are working together, serving together.
Oh.
That this was real, and it's always been here because I knew no place in Raleigh where black and white people were serving together as equal partners, whose our mission was to serve the people. It wasn't about us.
Right.
And that was only, building together was the only place I ever saw that.
And you, over the years, have been so patient. If you remember in 94, when God was laying on our hearts, too much white around here, you know, and had given us the invitation to go hear John Perkins. And there, you know, we're learning about, for the first time, white privilege. We realized we still had our blinders on. All the things connected with living in a bubble, you know. And you've been so patient over the years to help us transition and take those blinders off. And it's an ongoing process. We're still at it. But thank you for your patience, dear friend.
I never looked at it like that. I was like, I have finally landed.
Oh.
These are my people, right? Because I just looked at it because we always did everything together as a family.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of it, that we went all these places, all over the country in a van. What kind of people do that? And we had the best time.
I know.
Just being family.
Just being together.
And it's, which let me know, as well as others, that yes, it's possible. It is possible, right? You know, but that's what happens when you go beyond acquaintance to an associates to actual friendships. Because it's a process to get to friendship level. It doesn't just happen. Yeah.
And wasn't it amazing that we sensed that what we were discovering, God wanted us to share with friends and people in Wake County. It was like, we want to share this recipe. And after going to hear John Perkins, you remember, when we invited Chris Rice and John's son Spencer to come
and John.
for a first racial awareness in the little tiny Baptist church on Blunt Street, and black people and white people came, and then the white people were saying, "What do we do now?" And the word reconciliation bubbled up, and so you were the one. And Freddie said, "You wear this hat," and you took it. And I get so tickled because you said, "What is it?" You had to look up what is reconciliation. Right.
What? You know, I told you I thought that word reconciliation was in white people's Bible, not black people's Bible. Because I had never heard that before.
Right.
I had never ever heard that preached before.
Yeah.
And when I read the scriptures, and then when I read John's books, I was like,
wow.
I realized what God was after all along. And I thought, we're the ones that's made it so difficult. He's like, look, kids, I did all the hard part. Just do this, live as family. Now here we got to go through all these changes and still going through it to say, yeah, but that, who is my neighbor? It surely can't be. Well, it should. Well, not. It can't. Just our. And it's like, no, God is bigger than that. But that whole point of reconciliation is what I saw lived out. We lived it out, you know, and it was, I mean, the lights came on for a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And it all happened at Building Together. No, when I came, we were at Building Together. Y'all had left Halifax. Y'all weren't there. Y'all were actually had the building at 1116 North Blunt.
Right.
And so that was the first time I saw people coming together trying to do the same thing I was doing. It's like, what is this reconciliation thing? Because I didn't know.
Right.
And they didn't know. So I said, well, the white people didn't read their Bible either. So we didn't know what it was. So it's like we had to churn that thing out to kind of see it. And thanks be to God, More Than Equals, which is the book we used, is the same book we used. Here we are, 31 years later, and that's the book that Chris and Spencer had just written, and they came to talk about it.
Right.
So when we called everybody together to say, let's just read through a book together, right? Black and white people together.
Over dinner.
Oh, and then let everybody bring their dinner.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's how we did it, and that was the model I continue to use to this day. It's like, it's a good one, why change it, right? Because there's so much richness in what they said. And it was the perfect springboard to conversation. You know what I'm saying? That we can, well, they've already said the hard thing. We can just go on and talk about it.
Right.
And so that's how that thing worked out. But it is amazing that in 2024, we're still at it.
Oh, no.
And it's still wonderful. And I never wake up days saying, I am so sick of this. I'll never do it again. I'm ready to walk away. I have never. It is the most wonderful call that I could have ever stepped into.
Oh,
right? I mean, it is. And it's like, I never get tired of it. Even when we went through the hard places with some hard people who said, y'all black people always complaining. And y'all black people, and y'all, you know who I'm talking about. Tall old man, about 80 years old. He was 80 30 years ago, so. and how he was a part of everything we did. And I'm thinking, one day he's not going to come, and we're going to just say, we have to defend black people today. But he was being transformed in the conversation too.
Yeah.
And that was the amazing thing, that even in it, he was being transformed into hearing this whole black and white story and hearing God's call and seeing it lived out is what changed him. And it just occurred to me now that that's what happened and why he came to every single meeting, even when I prayed like, God, maybe I'm going to stay home. But he was being transformed too. And I heard it when he said one day, and we had a Christmas banquet, and he says, these are my friends. These people are my family. They're the best people I could have ever had a relationship with. And I'm like, us? for what you put us through.
Right.
But I mean, those were the days. But it was just a really wonderful, wonderful experience for me.
And out of those first supper clubs, I just realized last year, Andy and Al Reberg met for coffee for 22 years every day. That's a lot of coffee.
That was amazing.
That was a lot of coffee.
But guess what? The waitress, they got the same waitress because they sat at the same table at Big Ed's.
Oh.
And the waitress heard their conversations. And the waitress, who I still know today because she works at the other Big Ed's, said, I listen to them every time. And they are the ones who made me want to give my life to Christ.
Oh my
I
goodness.
said, that is powerful.
I
She
didn't
said,
know
I
that
listened to
story.
them. I mean, she still works there.
Oh my goodness.
And she said, I set them at the same place and I listened to their stories. Every time I listened to them and the things they talked about. But she was supposed to be working.
Yeah.
And she said, that is what made me want to give my life to Christ. And I said, how powerful. I don't know if I ever remember to tell Al or Andy that's what happened.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she says she'll say it today.
Wow.
That it was from that day of just listening to them and seeing them, enjoying that time together every month,
Every week.
every week. Wow,
Look at 22 years.
Wow, that she was really impacted. So
Oh
you
my
never realize
You never know.
what the impact your life is making, even when you're not trying,
Right.
when you're just living it out.
Well, I'm thankful after 84 years that it's still a passion that is transforming my soul.
Isn't it
And
amazing?
I heard somebody recently ask the question, when were you saved? And this person responded, today and every day. And, I'm just so thankful for you, Reggie, and all you brought to my life. You've saved me.
Oh, isn't that the cutest?
So real.
Oh, that's so
Thank
far out. I tell you.
Just receive it.
We had a special. There was we fell into a special time and place where it'll happen right here, right?
And we didn't know what we were doing.
I always say that, and I was like, I thought you knew.
No, I didn't know. I mean, we were like pioneers, and it was like, God, just show me the next step, and following Jesus. That's the way it's been.
Well,
we don't know.
I know that's amazing.
One step at a time.
Because that's how I do it.
Right, I know. That's why we're like sisters.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know nothing how to do this. I'm going to just put one foot forward, and I sure hope you're leading, because I don't know nothing about this, because there is no manual
That's
to
right.
say how do you build real relationships?
Right.
How do you get in the thicket with a friend? What do you go through when there is disagreement? There's nothing that tells you how to do that. You just have to walk that thing out. And that's the thing we've done. When I first came to building together, I said, these two, when I looked at you and Freddie, I said, these two hippies right here. I said, these two hippies. Because they don't know how to do the kind of stuff they do. How many couples walk away from everything, all of the wealth and materialism and all of that stuff and cars and stuff and things to live a life under Christ because you heard his call.
Right.
How many people do that? Then to say, okay, God, if you want us to go in the mission field, we'll go. And then the call comes to go and y'all go. Because I say, oh God, I know I didn't hear from you. We did not. And then y'all went all the way to Haiti and didn't know how to do that. What were you doing in Haiti? And y'all didn't know how to be Haiti missionaries. And, and that y'all went and stayed that time and still came back with the heart of, but we still haven't completed our call. And to move to Halifax Court. Ain't nobody do that but hippies. People don't do that. I live. And so, but to move into that neighborhood and stay, because, people come and go.
Right.
Like, no, we ain't going to do this with these people. But that y'all came and created community and friendship and stayed in the community, stayed in that whole little area there in Halifax Court. That was amazing. So I thank God that you finally wrote that book that I only been talking to you to write for 100 years.
Oh my God.
But that, I mean, that because it's unreal. It's like no, these people didn't really live this out. It's like, yeah, they did. And there's 10 billion zillion stories that's not there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you showed us how to walk it out and how to live it out and how to follow the call. Even if it goes like, oh, we don't know about this, but okay. We don't know about this either, but okay. And you saw God's hand in it.
Right.
And that's amazing. And I think that's something that young people need to know today. It's like there is another way.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't have to be wealth, prestige, money, big cars, big titles, big everything, and then they come back and say, yeah, now what? You know what I'm saying? Because they're empty because they didn't get no fulfillment from that.
Right.
But following God's path, you know, gives you the now what, and then you just step into that next thing, and that's what you all showed me, you know.
And I heard somebody say, just because you don't know what the next step's going to be, and what does it mean in following Jesus to rest in the mystery.
Yeah, I love it. I love
and
that.
just go with it. You know, and he shows up. And he doesn't expect perfect people or wise. We were not wise. We were not perfect, you know, but willing, just willing. And I'll provide the means. And he did. I mean, we wrote a simple newsletter every month, and the money just came. We told the stories
It's amazing. It's amazing.
of the neighbors, and he provided the volunteers.
It's amazing.
Reggie.
It's amazing.
And, you know, when people came together, the thing I loved was a whole lot, but we didn't ask people, are you conservative? Are you liberal? Are you Republican? Are you Democrat? But we're there to follow Jesus and to learn from the people on the margins, the things that our soul needs. And we're in it together. And don't give me any labels.
And you didn't have to be, what are you?
No, I just love Jesus. And I want to love you. Would you love me? With all my mess.
It was so simple. It was so simple, but we make it so hard. Like, how do we do it? It's like, it's real simple to me. You know what I'm saying? And the way provision was made for building together is the same way it happens with the encouraging place. And Brad always says, it just comes.
Well, look at your extension, Reggie. You went to Salisbury, you've been in Statesville, and God's expanding the work. It's amazing. How many supper clubs have there been, and lunch bunches? And
so many. It's been so many, and so many lasting friendships. So many people I met. And someone called me the other day from Greenville, and she says, we have a group of 10 or 12 ministry partners together that want to move into kinds of things you talk about. Will you come? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll come. I said, I have car, we'll travel. It's like, you will? I'm like, yeah, because I love this.
Right.
Yeah, I love talking to pastors about what you can do, and talking to pastors of black churches and white churches, saying what you can do. And I know this works because this is how we did it, And so I am so delighted by that. And they're like, and then people ask me, why are you running all over the place? I'm like, because I love what I do.
Right.
I love what I do.
And that's what God wants you to do. Spread the word.
There you go. So that's it. We go to wherever the call is. They say, can you come and get us started? And we go. So I don't know no other kind of way to do it, right? So we're going to be, we can do this for the next 30 years at least.
I think so.
Yeah. The next 30. And then in 30 more years, he can take our battery out and say, Energizer Bunnies, sit down. But in the meantime, we'll just keep pressing on. So I'm delighted for your friendship. Wow. I'm so glad that we were put together, right? And nobody can cut up and laugh like you and me about the stupidest thing. I mean, nobody can talk about experiences that happened to me as a black woman And nobody could experience it the way you have. Because when I told you the stories, you were hurt. Or when you told me the injustices you saw, I was hurt. So it's like it couldn't have happened no other way.
No.
And I'm just so delighted that we've been on this journey together, and it only gets better from here. So we only got 30 more years to go.
What a gift.
Yeah, for real.
What a gift.
That's it, for sure.